Hi everyone, it's the Bad Guy here, back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you why Sigmarus over here is so amazing for early to mid game progression in Summoner's War. Stay tuned. Okay guys, welcome back. Now the reason why I say Sigmarus is so good for early to mid game progression is, first of all, he's free. That means you don't have to buy scrolls, you can just easily fuse him from the fusion hexagram, and anyone who wants him can get him. And the second reason is that he's amazing in dungeons. He can be used in all three of the main Kairos dungeons, being giants, dragons and necro, which I will show you guys later on. But before that, let's just go over his skills to show you guys what he does. First skill, attacks an enemy and stuns them with an 18% chance. The chance goes up with skill ups. Second skill, Frost Orb, right? It attacks an enemy and frees them with a 100% chance. This is his highest damage dealing skill. It's a single target damage dealing skill and can do well over 30,000 depending on how good the runes you have on him are. And the third skill, which actually makes him really good for dungeons, is this skill, which attacks all enemies with an ice volcano, and it does max HP scaling damage, right? So its bosses always have high HP, so this skill is always going to hit them for a lot, especially when they have armor break. And another bonus to it is that it lowers the attack power of the boss. Like, that's an important thing in giants as well as dragons. If you lower the boss's attack power when he hits you, less chance that your team will wipe, right? And finally, this dungeon skill is another thing that makes him really good for dungeons, is that 44% HP leader skill for dungeons. So like, if you don't have a Verdahile, having this skill when you're making a face comp for Dragons B10, this will help you out a lot. And it also helps out in necro, as if you're gonna use him in necro, it will help out in any dungeon, as well as Hall of Heroes. This will, if you're using Sigmarus for the earlier parts of the Hall of Heroes, this will make it a lot more safer. Alright, now that we've gone over his skills, let me just show you guys the runes that I have for him. My Sigmarus, I've had him for like since I was early game. He was in my first Giants B10 and Dragons B10 like face team, right? These are his stats. They haven't changed much since I used him when I was new. Maybe just a few grinds added here and there. So they're not the best runes, but they do work. This could be powered up, but I don't really need to do that. You don't need to have that powered up, right? These are his runes: violent focus, decent attack. One thing that I forgot to mention about Sigmarus is that he has amazing like attack based stats. His HP is lacking, but he's an attacker. Like, it more than makes up for it with how much base attack he has. There are very few monsters in the game that have this much base attack. The only one who actually I know for sure surpasses him is his wind brother Tishar, which has over 1,000 base attack. But how do I put it? But Tishar isn't at 5, so the odds of you pulling him are very low. So just use Sigmarus and you should be fine. Okay then. Now that we're done with looking at his skills, we're going to head straight into the dungeon runs. So I'm going to show you guys early game dungeon runs, and I'm going to show you guys late game dungeon runs with Sigmarus, because Sigmarus can very well be used in late game speed comps as well. So he didn't really fall off in the late depending on your account. Hey guys, we're here at Giants B10, and this is the first team I'm going to show you guys that uses Sigmarus. It's a cookie cutter first Giants B10 auto team with Sigmarus leader here because it gives 44%. Shannon, Bella, Vermos, and this guy Bernard, right? So it's a safe team. It will never fail. Basically, this team will never fail. And depending on how your rune quality, its speed can increase up to a certain point. It will do like 2-minute 30 runs and things like that, but that's alright for a new person. Now when you're making your Giants B10 team, you want to shoot for something like this. Sure, maybe it will take a while for you to fuse these units, but once you get them, it will make things a lot easier for you. So I do recommend you fuse Sigmarus a lot earlier on. That way you get the max use out of him, because as you play this game, you'll definitely get other units, which maybe you may want to replace them with, like maybe Lucians and things like that. Lucians are quite good in this dungeon, but early game, your Lucian won't really help you that much, so Sigmarus will do a great job. Vermos as well, but we all know that Vermos is really good. Like, the order for fusion would usually be what at least the order that I would recommend, and the one that I did, was I fused Vermos first and then I fused Sigmarus. And this, like I said, this team will never fail you. You don't have to 6-star Shannon. Bella, I'd like it better if you had her 6-starred. And Bernard doesn't have to be 6-starred either, but there's no harm in 6-starring Bernard, because you're gonna use him anyways in your PvP as well, and it's better off if he's 6-starred. For example, if you put him on arena defense, you need him 6-starred, right? Other than a 5-starred. So you won't ever regret it, because he'll never fall off, you'll always use him. Sigmarus should be 6-starred, or else he'll die very easily. And Vermos obviously should be 6-starred. After this, I'll show you a speed team with Sigmarus, so you guys can have a good an idea of how you'd want to use Sigmarus later on as you go into the late game. And there we go. Now we're at the boss stage. An important thing about this boss is that you need to have that attack down debuff, which we have here in both Sigmarus and in this guy, in what's his name, Bernard. Yeah, so this team is very safe. There's almost no way he'll lose. We have C's, we have slows. Like, this is the ideal team that I would recommend for any beginner. So are you taking notes, guys? Because yeah, this is what you want to do. And Shannon also has glancing. Like, it's so solid. Does not need very good runes to work. Like, you see, not the fastest run, but very solid. Like, if you can average this 2-minute runs, you'll get better with time. Now we'll go straight into my speed team with Sigmarus, this guy, and then we'll go get my 2 Lucians and Galleon. Now this is the typical speed team you'd see for giants: 4 attackers, 1 Galleon. Let's go. This will average like 1-minute runs, maybe less, sometimes a bit more. But that's just on your rune quality and your towers. It will get more safe and skill ups and things like that. You'd want to have your Sigmarus skilled up and a bit faster than mine. But I don't have better Valent runes to give him, and these runes work just fine. Now the thing with Sigmarus is he doesn't fall off. Because how do I put it? Like he's being used in when you use him in the early game, he'll be very helpful. He may get a bit less helpful, but he will never be useless. That's the thing. He'll never be useless. He's always gonna. Because I use him in TOA. I use him in a lot of other places. I'll show you guys as the video keeps going. So like, using Sigmarus, you'll never regret it. And here we go. I think we should be good here. So you see that attack down debuff will help out a lot. If the boss got a move here, he wouldn't wipe us even if we had armor break on. And there we go. Fast run. Sigmarus also helps speed up the run, because if Lucians don't do their 3rd skill and clear the wave, then Sigmarus also has his 3rd skill. So the Lucians could use their 2nd skill, and then Sigmarus can clear the wave with his 3rd skill. So it will actually help speed up your run to have 3 AoE attackers. Now that's enough for Giants V10. Don't want to linger too much there. You guys have a good idea of what to do. We'll head straight into Dragon's Lair. Now for Dragon's Lair, first of all, I'm gonna show you guys my first Dragon's Face team. I'd show you the one I used to use that kills towers, but that's not. It didn't really use Sigmarus there, because Sigmarus could kill the tower and then he just dies. So let's just remove these guys and put in. This is like a team that beginners would use like your first Dragons B10 team would look something like that. The only unfarmable unit there is the Verdahile. Next, I'll do another beginner comp without the Verdahile, just so to show you guys that that Sigmarus will still work without Verdahile, because a lot of guys, at least when I was first trying to auto dragons, I felt the frustration of not having a Verdahile, because a lot of the teams that people give you need a Verdahile. So just to give you guys an idea of a team you can use without him. because it's not farmable. Everyone else here is very obtainable, other than him. But I recommend you save stones, because where the hell you will need him even later on for the speed runs. He makes things a lot safer. Now this team is also very safe. It will rarely fail. I mean, it has defense buff. It has, how do I put it? It has a healer. It has Vermos to clear the debuffs. So even if these crystal towers get armor break on you, Vermos will just cleanse it. And even if you reset, it doesn't really mean much. Extremely safe. Making a speed Dragon's B10 team is very challenging, because you may even have the monsters, the Vertihiles, but you need your towers upgraded for it to be remotely how do I put it? For it to be remotely successful, so you don't fail all the time. And you know, failing is super frustrating. This team will like do a 2-minute run as well. So if you're new, this is something that you'd want to make. That base attack really helps out with Sigmarus, in that not many monsters have that kind of base attack. So like for an attacker, like not many people will damage him. And here, okay, we're doing good. And like that leader skill, like it's just amazing. My Bella is not ruined for accuracy, so I usually use my Bella in raids more. This is gonna take a while. Hopefully they can get that immunity buff off. My Vermos right now is ruined Swift. So like when you're coming in from, like, the progression is giants to dragons, right? When you're coming in, most of these guys will be ruined on Swift, if you have any of them. In fact, I expect all of them to be ruined on Swift. Your Sigmarus will probably be ruined on Fatal. That's the best way to do it, because if only this Bella could land that damn armor break, this run would be a lot faster. Okay. She landed it at the worst possible time, obviously, but whatever. This team probably won't fail, I think. It's just that it's taking forever. But yeah, like the progression will be giants into dragons. So your team that you'll be using for your first dragons run will probably have more giants runes. And as you slowly farm dragons and get your violent runes, then you'd switch Vermos to violent. You'd switch, maybe if you want, Sigmarus to violent. I prefer the violent Sigmarus because I use him in dungeons, and when he procs a lot, he does a lot of damage, right? And he has that third skill up sooner, so yeah. Slow run just because, you know, armor break, but when you're building your Bella, you'd want her to have a lot of accuracy. At least 60-ish% would be good, or 50. I think the dungeon cap is 45%, but I like having a bit extra just so I don't lose my mind when she's missing all her seizes and armor breaks and stuff. Okay, then next we're gonna do a team without Vertihile, right? Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Hopefully Vertihile, and then we'll put in this guy. Where is he? We'll put in Bernard. Okay, let's go. This should be fine. Now, it's not as effective as the Vertihile comp. It will be slower, but it will work, right? It will work quite fine. But it will require higher levels of rune quality is the problem. Because that one Vertihile gives you so many more turns, it's almost like it's so easy. But in this one over here, like Bernard can only buff your speed. It's not, his attack bar buff is not as effective as Vertihile's. I'm expecting another 3-minute run. And you can see that 44% leader skill of Sigmarus come into play. It'll keep you it'll keep your team safer. Okay. Hopefully we resist those armor breaks. But even if, like, Megan is water, so she's not gonna die off that. The only bad part would be if Sigmarus got armor broken. That would be a bit dangerous. But he shouldn't die with that 44% leader skill is the thing also. and we have a healer, so, and defense buff, so like, it's quite safe. But I would, if you have a Verdahal, I recommend the first team. The first team is a lot safer, but not everyone is that lucky. So while you wait for your Verdahal, you can use this one. Hopefully the RNG is on our side this time. You see Bernard can still land the debuffs on the boss, even if he's wind. He's not completely useless. Nice, we got that armor break. This should be an easy run now, just because of that armor break that we managed to get. Yeah, and the combination of Megan and Bella makes it so if one of them misses the armor break, the other one will just come around and manage to get it. Not the armor break, but the strip, because it's quite important, especially in your early game teams, to be able to land that strip. And this should be a win, just because of the armor break. That's a team without Verdahal. Then the last team I'm gonna show is a speed team with Sigmarus. Now bear in mind, speed teams, dragon speed teams are really hard to make. You need really good towers and rune quality to even be able to try and attempt this team. I think you saw it when we first started. It's right, it has Verdahal. Is Verdahal in storage? I think he's in storage, but let's just get the other members of the team. A Tark, we all know that Tark is good for DB10 at this point. So you can go ahead and build one if you have one. I think it was Tark, there was Theomars there. And we'll go straight into here to get Verdahal. Okay. And boom, there's your team. Let's go ahead. This is like, it will do like a 1 minute 20 run, 1 minute 15-ish run, or even longer depending on how the RNG goes, and it has room for failure quite a bit. Like for example, if you go into the Zyros boss stage and all of the crystals end up targeting Tark, like he could die and that could cause the run to fail. But that's also just because of my lack of towers, because if I had the water tower maxed, then there would never be an issue. For example, if we get that armor break on Zyros, he'd die instantly without the crystals getting a move. That's what you want. Making a successful speed dragon speed 10 run is just, it's not easy. That's all I have to say. It's not easy, it's dependent on a lot of things. And I think my towers are, I need to start working on my water tower and also to max my attack tower. My speed tower is not maxed as well, so like a lot of room for improvement. But even with the towers I have right now, this team works just okay. You see, you just want, it's the logic behind it is to kill the boss even before the first or get him so low before the first immunity comes up. And if we can see, if Sigmarus has his third skill up, he'll just one-shot the boss instantly. You see, like they all do a lot of damage. And that is the speed team that you'd want to make, averaging 1 minute 12 seconds. It has room for failure, but if you have your towers maxed and you have really good runes on them, then it should be a very good team for you. Now that we're done with that, I'm going to showcase one run at Necro. This is the run I'm using currently for Necro. Sigmarus, not this one. Was it like this? Yeah. Sigmarus, Lucian, this girl, and you know, yeah, you can see the team, whatever. Let's go ahead and do it. Now the whole point of this, why you're using Sigmarus, is that he helps because he has that AoE, right? He has that AoE to help clear the to help clear the waves to the boss, because that's what actually takes the longest time in Necro. And he also provides that HP leader skill. If you've done Necro or tried to do Necro with Lucian, you've noticed that Lucian will almost always kill himself off the trash race, because they do reflect damage back to him, right? So he may come into the mini boss stage low or the boss stage low because of killing himself. So by having that 44% leader skill from Sigmarus, it makes Lucian like not kill himself, or less chance of him killing himself, because he has a lot more bonus HP. And he also like lowers the attack, like you just saw there, of the mini boss, so less chance of the mini boss just one-shotting someone. Because the hardest part about I think the hardest part for Necro is the mini boss, being able to pass that mini boss stage safely. Because once you kill those 2 golems by his side, he hits so hard. And yeah, now we just go after the boss. We have Feng Yan here. A better alternative for Feng Yan would be not Feng Yan, but this is Zhongfei. A better alternative for Zhongfei would be Feng Yan. Yeah, his wind brother. He does a lot more damage, and he still provides a heal and the counter attack. So he's a way better alternative, but I don't have him, so this is what I'm gonna use. And like, if they take Sigmarus, they can kill Sigmarus instantly. If they take this guy, my Lucian can kill the Lich instantly. So it's a pretty solid team. You don't want to have to. You need to know who's probably going to get taken, because that will actually count quite a bit. It's not the fastest run, but I don't really care because I don't farm Necro too much. I don't need the runes from here too much. I'm still busy with giants and maybe dragons. So like, this is just a team I came up with the other day just to show you guys that Sigmarus can be used here. Sean B actually showcased the use of Sigmarus first, so I think I'll put the link to the video that he did showing how he used Sigmarus. It wasn't the same team, it was a different team, I think. A bit different, yeah, it was different. But replacements here, like everyone here is probably farmable except Lucian, but you can have like Xiaolin here, or basically any other attacker you want. And in place of the Wind Lich, over here, you can use the Water Lich. The Water Lich was a HOH, was a Hall of Heroes. I don't know for which month, but he was. Maybe you got him, or at some point maybe you pulled the Lich. You can use Water Lich, Dark Lich, or this guy here, Wind Lich. So yeah, pretty good. Feng Yan farmable, Sigmarus farmable. This guy is a 2-star, I think. 2-star, yeah, 2-star monster. And Lucian, you can replace him with anyone else. Like, it didn't have to be a Lucian there. It can be any other like attacker that you have. So yeah, now that we're done with that, we'll go on to over here, Rift of Worlds. Now I don't need to say that Sigmarus can be used here. He definitely is used here. A lot of you guys probably already use him here, but I just want to put this in there just in case. You can see he's number 4 over there. Tark and all these guys, they're all used here. So we'll go ahead and battle. He does quite well because he does good damage all around, right? He's a Sigmarus. So we'll just go. This is the team I'm using, but you can replace all the guys here. Like, Theomars is farmable. Xiaolin maybe isn't farmable, but you should have her. She's really good because you rune her tanky for raids, right? You rune her tanky for raids, and so she can be used on the front line, and she's an attacker. The goal of Rift is to do as much damage as possible before the boss gets to do damage to you. So you want to put him in groggy state as fast as possible, right? So yeah, I put Xyros there in just because of his AoEs and the fact that he's one of my better runed units, and he also provides that attack bar lead. If I had Perna, I'd use Perna instead. Perna is a lot better for this, but I don't, so this is the guy I'm using. When you're crafting the team for the fire raid, you want to have at the very least 2 AoE attackers. That's because, you know, if you let those things hit you, they'll mess you the hell up. They'll probably wipe your team. Also have as much water as possible because they have elemental advantage and do more damage to the boss. I think Zyra should have that. You see, you want to kill all those add-ons. There we go. Also have your AoE attack damage dealers to be fast. A reason why I don't really like, I'm apprehensive about only using Sigmarus here is that Sigmarus and Xyrus is because Sigmarus over here, he isn't fast enough for me for this. I need to upgrade his runes at some point. And this should be a solid A+, I mean SS, double S, maybe triple S, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. He just wasted his AoE, but I think Sigmarus has his AoE and Xyrus has a second AoE, so we should be fine. We should be fine. Yes. If we get hit by that, we'll probably... No, we won't wipe. Because Theomars can still carry through. If the boss is low enough, he'll just do it on his own because he'll pop Endure, right? And Colleen won't die. So it's a safe run. Pretty safe. Pretty safe. And this should be double S. We get hit by that, but it should be fine. That's why you'd also want to have water units, because if it actually does that at this point in stage in the game, at least you see the water unit survived. Theomar survived and actually killed the boss. What I usually do is I use Samath there instead of Bernard, not Bernard, but Sigmarus, because Samath has a lower cooldown than on his AoE than Sigmarus. But yeah, this is my best team, as you see. Have my Samath there, so, and if it actually gets hit like that, Samath will still come back like Theomars and they'll be able to solve the boss. Next one is this one over here. This is not my best one. Like, it's very unstable. So I get SS, double S's sometimes. I get A pluses sometimes. So I don't really like doing it. But just to show you guys, we'll go ahead and do it. This one, like, the strategy is just to use strong single target attack damage dealers. So Sigmarus is basically good for that, because first second skill do good single target attack damage. If you don't have anyone better, you can use him. Like those, if you don't have a Teor, I don't have a Teor. The reason I'm using him here is because he's the best unit I can use in that slot for my team, in my box. I don't use Tark here. I don't like using Tark here because his third skill counts as a multi-hit. I noticed that whenever I use Tark, like, if you think that because he's taking everyone else and they're using their first skills, it would count as each of them using their first skill, but no, it counts as a multi-hit skill, so it's not very good for here. I'd rather have Sigmarus than Tark. Kaito is a given. He does really good damage. All of his skills are single target, and he does insane amounts of damage. Xyrus is there for the attack power leader. If you can get an attack power leader here, you should use them. I recommend for the fire dungeon. I never really said this, but you can use what's her face? You can use the Ninetales, the water Ninetales. She provides an attack bar leader for water, so you can replace Xyrus and put her there, and she has an AoE, so she works quite well. I'm pretty sure she's also quite used when it comes to the fire raid. This one I'm expecting an A+. Like, we can do well over 2000 damage. But just killing the boss till the end is a bit difficult for this team. Not enough damage. Like I said, towers are coming into play here. Eventually I should be able to do it quite consistently. But yeah, that would require time for my towers to get maxed. My damage towers. And my speed tower, but that's okay. Also a bit of the defense and the HP tower would help. But yes, this I'm expecting A+. You can use Sigmarus both in both these places. The one place that you can't actually use Sig in the game at all is Rift of World R5. But other than that, he's so useful. He has so much use. He's so versatile for a free monster. I feel Comtos really did us a solid by making him a fusible unit. He just speeds up what you can do in the game. He can also be used as a farmer, because I used to use my Sigmarus to farm Timor. He'll never fail Timor. If your runes are good enough, you can also do hell mode for Feynman. I'll show you guys after this. I don't know if we'll be able to do this, hopefully, but yeah, let's finish up with this run. I'm not sure if we can do it though. I think we can actually get a double S this run. Yeah, we can. Or is it a single S? I don't know. You saw where it's close to the wire. Just a single S, that's fine though. Like, a lot of times we're not able to kill the boss. As you can see, you just improve slowly. Like, you don't need to you'll slowly get better as you improve your towers and things. So we're done with here. Like I said, we cannot use Sigmarus in Rift Raids. You can, but he's not very effective. There are a lot better units. So we'll just move off here and go to the next place where I use him. I use him in TOA hard and normal. I just use him on auto for normal. Hard, I use him on auto with a sort of nuke team. Like, I auto up to like 50-ish, then I nuke upwards. I use a single. Let me just show you an example of the team I'd use. It's usually something like Okeanos. We go with this guy, and then we go with Okeanos, like that, and then we go with where's that guy? Like a Lucian or something. Just AoE attackers and a lot of damage. It'll nuke even up to the 70s to 80. I can nuke past that. Then after 80 is when I start doing the whole slow dot damage thing, or bombing it or something like that. So yeah, something like this. And then last guy here would be like an attack per buffer, like my frigate. And it's a solid team. Like, I can nuke all the way to 80. I can even nuke boss stage. I do nuke boss stages with this. Okeanos just stuns the add-ons, and then I focus down the boss with like with these attackers. So yeah, that's how I use it over. That's how I use him there. Let's just go to normal. I'll show you guys the team that I used for first clearing TOA hard was with Sigmarus as the only attacker. Now this was basically it, but in place of our Arya here, I had the fire, what's his face? Fire Bernard. I forget what's his name again? He's over here in storage. Spectra. I use Spectra in place of Arya here, but my Spectra is not ruined right now, so we'll have to make do with Arya. Let me just go straight ahead. I've already completed this. I'm wasting time not doing TOA hard, but I will eventually do it. I need to get those 300 crystals. But let me just fast forward to the boss. It's very easy, especially Lyrid stage. So I'll see you guys in a few. Let me just get to that boss stage. Hey guys, okay, we're here at stage 100 of Lyrid, this TOA hard normal rotation. And Lyrid is really good for Sig. Honestly, Sig will do well in both rotations. But he also does really well here because he can freeze on his second skill and stun on his first skill. And this green one needs to be frozen so she doesn't gain attack bar whenever you hit her. So yeah, let's just do this stage real quick. I'm not going to do the entire stage because I'm just going to show you guys how I usually do it. So I'd like freeze this one and you kill this one first. And then after you kill that one, you focus that one. And then once you do that, you just focus down Lyrid and kill her. It's not really dangerous anymore. This was really hard when I started, but now it's like super easy. I can auto the damn stage. But yeah, like you can see what Sig does so well against bosses. He does so much damage against them, and he stuns them. So like he's so good for this. He's insanely good for TOA. So like if you're struggling with TOA, think about fusing Sig, and you should be able to clear it very easily, especially with him. And he does lower the attack too, so even if they hit you, he helps. For example, if Bernard misses that attack down, then he'll do it for you. And in place of this girl, Spectra does quite well, maybe even a lot better, just because Spectra, what does he do? He slows, pushes back the attack bar, as well as he does a lot of good max health damage to bosses as well with his second skill. So yeah, there we go. And we can just auto it. So you can see this is, if you have this team, you can use it. You can replace Chasun with Bella. Bella will do fine here too, but you'd have to add maybe someone else to give you the attack up buff, or whatever that thing is called, because Chasun also gives you the attack up debuff. So yeah, this is what you'd want to do. And yeah, it's gonna win. It's not gonna fail. So let's call it quits here. Let's go to the next place where I'm gonna show you guys how that I use Sig. Right? We're done with that. Okay, instead of putting in transitions are fucking annoying. Let's just do it. Alright guys, we're here at Fame on Hell. I said I'd show you guys that you can use Sig as a farmer as well, because earlier on you're also looking to be able to farm these Fame on Hell stages so you can level up your forger and stuff. So Sig will very easily do that as well. Let's just put in a few fodders for him to level up for me. And yeah, he should be quite safe for this. If he's runed well enough, he can do basically any stage. But I need to Comtours really needs to fix this. Why is it that dungeon leader skills are ineffective in scenarios? That really doesn't make much sense. Cause like, come on, it will make things quite easier if, at least for early game players, if those dungeon leader skills could also work in scenario. Right, because there's no scenario leader skill, right? The only things that work here are global leader skills, but I feel dungeons should be fair game. They should be able to work. I hope if you guys agree with me there, you can put it down for me in the comments below. Maybe we'll tell YD Senpai to talk to them about it, but it's all good. And this should be fine. Like, there's no way they kill him, because he has that elemental advantage, and he'll kill something every time he moves. And if he has he's on violent too, so there we go. And we win. So yeah, he's a good forder farmer. You probably won't be able to do this early game, so tomorrow he'll do it very easily, no problems there. If you can't do Fayman, just do tomorrow. And there we go. Now we're getting to the end of this video, and I just want to show you the final place. Now, even if you get way late game and like you have so many units and there's all so much better than Sig for everything, there's one thing that none of those units will be better than Sig for, and that will be World Boss. World Boss, Sig always contributes. Like, he's always the highest contributor, at least in my team, for World Boss, and in your team he should be one of the highest contributors, regardless if you give him decent runes. Like, let's just go ahead and do this so you can see for yourself. Like, he'll never be useless in any way. Sig is, I don't feel he'll ever fall off, because like, even if you found better units to use in Necro, and you can still use him in TOA, and if you have better units to use in TOA, like, you can use him in as a scenario farmer. You can he'll always be useful in World Boss, so like, you'll never regret fusing him. And when you're early game and you're doing early game guild wars and early game arena, he'll actually help quite a lot, because he does bring that AoE and a lot of damage. And this Jew Bagel actually did a video showing, well, this time he didn't come out first, but you get what I mean. Jew Bagel actually did a video on an arena cleave which used Sigmarus, so you can also use him in a will shield cleave Sigmarus comp. That's what he used it for, like if you don't have anything better to use in that slot. So you can see he'll always do quite well for you in contribution. I don't know, usually first, but whatever, good enough. You know what, how do I put it, this World Boss thing, it always goes up and down. Sometimes I get S, sometimes I get A+. It's so weird, but yeah, he'll always be good for that. He'll always contribute high. If you want to get that triple S rank on World Boss, he'll always help you out. And there we go. So yeah, that has been basically it. Now let's just go over here. We'll talk about it a little. Now, like I said, Sigmarus is very good as a unit in general. He'll always help you out. He was one of my first fused. I fused him right after Veramos. It was very early for me because I was lucky enough to pull some of the fusion materials for him, and I just fused him, and he helped me out quite well. I never got my first Nat 5 early. I got him like my first Nat 5 so late in the game. I think my first one was Rakan, and by that time Rakan was shit, and I still use Sig. I use Sig in my early game Guild Wars, I use Sig in my arena, and he always served me well. Even now, I never regret him. Like, all the Phoenixes just look so amazing, just their design, I love it. If I could get a Pern, I'd be so happy, but I'll never, like, I'll always use Sig somewhere in one way or another. Like, he'll always be useful to me. At least I use him into your way. I always try and make use of him. So like, if you're early to mid game, he'll help you so much in progression. He'll help you get that those dungeon runs going, get them stable. He'll help you with that leader skill. You don't have Vertihal, you have Sig, right? You can use that leader skill. So like, he's a good unit through and through. You will never regret fusing him. So I recommend you fuse him. And yeah, he's a good. I don't think I have much else to say about it. The video spoke for itself. He did quite well and everything. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a comment, like, and subscribe to my channel.